Our next point is ideal solutions. Now here, what are ideal solutions? Now we will discuss the concept here. Now here, A is a molecule, this one is same type of other molecule, and this bond indicates the interactions present between both the molecules. Now we can say this is a particular component. This is second component. Here also this bond indicates type of interactions. Type of interactions means it may be any type of bond or any type of interaction like hydrogen bond or van der Waals forces, covalent bond, anything. Now here, after mixing A with second component B, you are getting solution here. In the solution, this bond indicates type of interactions once again. That means these are the types of interactions within the single components. These are the interactions present between different components in the given solution. So what are ideal solutions? In any given ideal solution, the interactions in pure components are equal to interactions present between both the components in the given solution. I will repeat, the type of interactions are similar between individual components to the solution. If this is the case, then there is no need of any type of energy here. That means change in enthalpy is 0, because type of interactions are similar here. Now what about change in volume? Here types of interactions are similar, that is why change in volume is also equal to 0. For example, if 10 milliliters of a component is added to 10 milliliters of another component, then we will get 20 milliliters of solution. How to calculate change in volume? Here volume of solution, that is actually we are calling it as product, and volume of reactants. Actually these are not reactants, generally these are individual components. That is equal to 20 minus 20, that is equal to 0. Now these two are the conditions for ideal solutions. Now here what are ideal solutions? Here change in enthalpy is 0, change in volume is also equal to 0, because type of interactions between individual components and solution are same. Now here we can express this concept in a given graph also. Now this is a different graph when compared to all the other types of graphs. Now here, this particular line indicates vapor pressure of a component. This line indicates vapor pressure of other component. Between these two lines, this is an indication for solution. For example, here I am taking mole fraction of first component as 1, mole fraction of second component is 0. That means here at this particular line we have only one pure component. Here vapor pressure of pure component is written as P01. Come to second line here, where x1 is equal to 0 and x2 is equal to 1. This is second component. Now here, this point we can write it as P02. This is vapor pressure of pure component 2. Now, suppose if you are moving from left to right in the given graph, slowly mole fraction of first component decreases and it is approaching 0 here. Next one, here mole fraction of second component is 1, and if you are moving towards right side and it becomes 0. At a particular point of time, x1 is 0.5 and x2 is also 0.5. Now once again, this is vapor pressure of pure component 1. This is vapor pressure of pure component 2. Between these two lines, this space indicates solution. Now, as you are moving from left to right, slowly mole fraction of first component decreases and its vapor pressure also decreases and it approaches to 0. This is written as P1. What is P1? P1 is nothing but vapor pressure of a component in the given solution. So whereas second condition, if you are moving from right to left, slowly vapor pressure of pure component 2 decreases and approaches to 0 here. This we can write as P2. I will repeat. P01 is vapor pressure of pure component. P1 is vapor pressure of that component in the solution called as partial vapor pressure. P02 is vapor pressure of pure component 2 and P2 is vapor pressure of that component in the solution, or we can say partial pressure of second component in the solution. Now finally, this line indicates total pressure of the solution at a particular point of time. For example, here I am taking P2, here I am taking P1. P1 plus P2 is equal to total pressure P. Now that means this line indicates total pressure of the solution in combined state. So as we know that Dalton's partial pressures law, total pressure of a gaseous mixture is equal to sum of the partial pressures of individual gases in the gaseous mixture. Now we can write total pressure is equal to P01 x1 plus P02 x2. This is the formula for ideal solutions. Now see, for this type of solutions we have several examples. One is normal hexane and normal heptane. See, this is our first example. And second one is bromoethane, chloroethane. So these are examples for ideal solutions. Once again, in the given ideal solution, the type of interactions between molecules of a component is equal to other component, that is equal to interactions present between different components also. This is said to be condition for ideal solutions.